Hello and welcome to Schweeet. My name is Daniel. I'm not sure if the camera's been flipped horizontally, so I'll worry about that later. For now, this is my first YouTube live video. I'm going to explain to you what Schweeet is. So Schweeet is a zero-calorie, zero-carbohydrate liquid sugar alternative. It's aimed for people that want to give up sugar but don't want to sacrifice taste. It's also good for people that want to reduce calories in their diet, or if you just want to get rid of the negative effects of sugar. One drop of this liquid has the same taste as a teaspoon of sugar, and there's no aftertaste at all. So you get 300 drops in a bottle for $3.99, so it's about 1p per drop. And we obviously give you a price guarantee, money back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied, or if it doesn't taste exactly like sugar, then we will give you your money guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied, or if it doesn't taste exactly like sugar, then we will give you your money back. You can order this online from schweeet.com. That's SCHW, 3 E's and a T.com. Who's it suitable for? So, excuse me. So Schweeet is suitable for anyone who's got diabetes. So it will not affect your blood sugar levels. So one drop obviously is the same taste as a teaspoon of sugar. And when a diabetic they can have as much as they like of it, and it won't affect their blood sugar levels. They won't have to inject themselves with insulin, which is obviously a big deal for people with diabetes. It's also a big deal for people that have diabetes as well. It's good for health and fitness. Today I'm going to demonstrate how you can make some really fast milkshakes. I'm going to do some sugar-free flapjacks, and maybe some other things depending on how things go. Obviously need to build my confidence in doing this as well. So it's also very good for people who follow a ketogenic diet, ketosis. It won't affect the blood ketones, if anybody who understands what that is or knows what that is. And because it's a liquid, you can put it in anything. So, I mean, obviously we've got tablet sweeteners. You can't just put them in anything you like, whereas with this you can. Hot drinks, from coffee to custard, pretty much anything you like you can make with it. So what I'm going to do first, today I'm going to make some milkshakes. Those of you who know me or have met me before or have been to my demonstrations will know that one of my biggest things is to do the milkshakes. I do it before and after drop test. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to make the milkshakes themselves. So I'm going to make vanilla ones. So just get a blender out. You have to excuse me if my back is put to you. I have just got a microphone attached to my apron. So for this, any good quality blender would do absolutely fine. What I tend to do is I tend to freeze milk into ice cubes. I'll show you that. So got a bag freshly prepared. So let's put a handful of these into a blender. Like so. The good thing about having the milk ice cubes is that it's extremely cold and it makes the milkshake really thick. Just put enough milk in to cover the ice cubes, the milk ice cubes, and then some vanilla flavoring or extract. If you use the natural extracts from the supermarket, then they don't have any sugar in, which is the whole point of this. So a couple of drops of that, or however you like to taste. And then for this, I'm just going to use 4 drops of Schweeet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then blend. Excuse the noise, sorry. So that's pretty much done. I've got some reusable plastic straws. And as you can see here, when I'm pouring it in, That's the camera. It's real nice thick consistency because of the milk ice cubes. It tastes fantastic. Very, very nice. Very quick to make. Very good if you've got kids, because you won't get any like highs and lows in energy. You won't suddenly just run around the place because of the sugar. You've got the natural sugars in the milk. I tend to use organic milk, full fat as well. It's a lot better for you. I'm not sure if you can hear the neighbour's lawnmower, but I do apologise if you can. Right, so I'm going to preheat the oven now. And is there anything else I can quickly talk to you about? So our quality promise. So we are so certain of our product that if you're not completely happy, we will give you the cost of the bottle back and the delivery cost if you bought it online. You can buy it in shops. There is a list on the website. If you're following my channel, then you can find the website through that. It's www.schweeet.com. SCHW, 3 E's and a T. Please share this feed with your friends. Tell your friends about this. I mean, this is a great alternative for people that have got diabetes. A lot of people sacrifice taste when they switch to sweeteners from sugar, whether they've been diagnosed or with an illness, or if they just specifically want to give up sugar. So this lets you have all the taste of sugar without any of the negative effects that you get from sugar. It's no calories, no carbs, none whatsoever. It will not affect your blood glucose levels. So having said that, I'm now going to go on to another recipe. I'm going to make some flapjacks. So this is a keto-friendly recipe and requires, instead of sugar, Schweeet. You need 300 grams of oats, 150 grams of mashed banana, 100 grams of organic butter, 50 grams of coconut oil. I tend to use those two. It's nice, makes them crispy. I'll go through this as I'm doing the recipe as well, just to make sure I've covered everything. So I shall mash the banana first. So 100 grams of banana. This seems to be the best to make crispy flapjacks. You can make them softer if you put more banana in, but there tends to be more sort of like a cake than a flapjack if you start overdoing the banana. So I stick to 150 grams for this recipe. You're welcome to adapt it as you see fit. But so the reason I put the banana in first is because as you mash it, while you're doing the rest of the recipe, it tends to sort of oxidize and go a bit more liquidy. I should say that's a technical term. And let's try that. So just mash it up with a fork. You can put your Schweeet in with the banana. It doesn't make too much of a difference. I do prefer to put my Schweeet in with the butter and the oil, which I bring to boil. So, which I should do that in a minute. So, nice consistency there. Just mash it up, and then just leave that to rest for a minute. We will mash it a little bit more before we continue the recipe, but for now I'm going to get the oil ready. So just a little saucepan, and you need 100 grams of butter I'm going to use for this one. I always use organic butter. Anything dairy I tend to go organic because you know that the animal has been fed a good diet and has been looked after, and also the nutrient profile of organic dairy is much better than non-organic. So I'll go for that. So 100 grams of butter, and then I use just organic coconut oil. I imagine, you could do a butter-free version of this if you wanted to, just use coconut oil. I've not tried that yet. I think the butter adds a certain flavour to flapjacks. Obviously, it's down to you guys. So 50 grams. Preheat the oven to about 180 degrees. Ready for your tray. And so 50 grams of coconut oil. Okay. The oven on. Put it on low. Put it on low. The oil does stop the butter from burning, but still keep your eye on it. In here, I'm going to put, so in a full dropper of Schweeet, there's around 10 drops, which is save you some time, save you some hassle when counting. In previous bottles, we didn't have this feature. This takes a lot of hassle out of it. So in here, I'm going to put 30 drops, which is 3 full droppers. Right, let me get that one full. 3 full droppers there. And I'm going to bring that to the boil. So while that's happening, excuse me, I'm going to continue my milkshake. So now on to the next bit. Now you don't have to put cinnamon powder in the flapjacks. I do find that it makes them taste just a little bit nicer, adds an extra flavour to them. So I am going to do that. So in a bowl, you're going to weigh up 300 grams of oats for this recipe. I'm hoping I've got enough in there. If not, I should have to use another packet. I use organic oats, again, for the same reason that I don't agree with pesticides. They bring inflammation into the body, which is something we don't want. So 300 grams of oats. Done. And then I've got some cinnamon powder here. So I'm going to use the cinnamon. Sprinkle that. Roughly, let me measure it out, roughly a teaspoon in there. Now I'm going to increase the temperature of my butter and oil. Give that a bit of a stir. This recipe doesn't take too long to prepare. It's not as quick to make as the milkshakes are, but it's still quite simple and easy. They take about half an hour in the oven. So while I'm just waiting for that to melt, I'm going to explain that in a case of Schweeet, you get 16. This is a shop display, or you can buy it yourself. You get 16 bottles of Schweeet. Each bottle of Schweeet comes with a unique recipe card, short and sweet recipe of things that you can do or you can make with Schweeet that you might not have thought of. We're also open to any suggestions or ideas that you may have. Those of you who have just tuned in, Schweeet is a 0-calorie, 0-carbohydrate sugar alternative aimed at people that want to give up sugar or have diabetes or for any other medical or non-medical reason want to give up sugar, but then realise that the taste and the withdrawal together is something that maybe drives them back or something that they miss. So this tastes identical to sugar. There's no aftertaste at all like you get with sweeteners in the supermarket. 1 drop is the same taste as a teaspoon of sugar, like for like. And it's got 0 calories and 0 carbohydrates. So it's perfect for people who want to maybe reduce their calorie intake if that's your thing, or if you're in the health and fitness and want to add things to maybe your protein shakes or without making them unhealthy. Then this is a good choice. It's very cheap as well. You get 300 drops for $3.99, so it's about a penny a drop, which is great. And you can order it online from us today for $3.99 per bottle. There's a small delivery charge from Schweeet.com. So that's www.schweeet.com. And nice and boiling. So now, while this is still really, really hot, please be careful. I'm going to pour it into the oats. Now, it is absolutely boiling hot oil. And the reason I do this is because it tends to make the oats very crunchy once they've been cooked. which is good. So I shall, while I'm doing this, so I'm going to mash the banana up a little bit more as well. Now, it's up to you guys whether you add fruit to this recipe. Some people like to add sultanas to the flapjacks, and obviously if you do that, you're going to increase the sugar content, so it makes them less keto friendly. I know you've got the oats, obviously, but it's easier to control carbs if you don't throw loads of fruit and everything. So now pour in the banana. Give it a good stir. Make sure that obviously the oats have been covered with the oil and the butter already, and now when you add the banana, it tends to just glue the oats together. As you may know, when you remove sugar from things, it takes away some of the moisture and takes away that kind of the stickiness. So we replace that with a minimal amount of banana, or as minimal as possible. You could probably use other things, maybe some stewed apple is another one. You can make the stewed apple with Schweeet as well, which is one of our recipes on the website. If you go to the website, there's lots of videos and recipes on there, which we've done. I think it's about 54. I think it's a Heinz recipe number. But if you go on there, there's some of them have videos which I've done, and some of them don't, but they are quite straightforward. And again, if you can think of anything, please go onto our Facebook page, put a post up on there. Now for the tray, I always tend to use parchment paper whenever I'm cooking, because it just seems to be better with the non-stick. So line your tray with parchment paper. So just to show the consistency there, it's just kind of not gloopy, but you can see the oats are kind of hard to move apart, which is perfect. So it's up to you guys if you want to add more banana. But then it starts to become, it's almost spongier when it comes out the oven when you do that. So put them in and spread them round. I'm not going to put any sultanas into this one, although the family do seem to like it. I prefer flapjacks without. So spread it nice, and it should be quite nice and thin all the way to the edges, and just run a knife straight down the middle or just cut into it and divide up into pieces that you want. And fairly nice and thick, so I'm hoping this camera is working, otherwise I'm live with no sound. I should probably check that in a minute. So there you go, nice tray of flapjacks ready to go. Put them in the oven for around half an hour to 35 minutes. Might be able to keep going until, I think there's some other things that I can do with Schweeet in a second. Obviously you've got teas. I could do a hot chocolate actually. I'll do that in a second. So, again, for those of you who have just joined us, I am the creator of Schweeet. Cool. Camera's not brilliant. I'm the creator of Schweeet, which is it's back to front. I thought it might be, so please ignore that. So, Schweeet is a 0-calorie, 0-carbohydrate sugar alternative aimed at people that want to give up sugar without the sacrifice of taste, and whether they want to give it up for just general health, or maybe they have diabetes, or this is perfect for them. So this is it's created from sugar, and it's modified so that your body can't do anything with it, so it just comes out naturally, which makes it 0-calorie, 0-carb. It's perfect for people with diabetes because they can have as much as they want of this, and it won't affect their blood sugar levels, blood glucose levels, which means that they don't have to inject themselves, which, as you know, is ideal really for them. So it's only $3.99 for 300 drops, which is about a penny a drop, and it can be bought online from Schweeet.com or in some shops. We've got a list of distributors online, so please feel free to have a look or contact us directly. We have a Facebook page. If you look for Schweeet in Facebook, SCHW, 3 E's and a T, and we're on there. We've got lots of posts, lots of information, some funnies, and kind of like an anti-sugar campaign for people that obviously understand the epidemic, as it were. Now, we do cases of Schweeet. You get 16 in a case. We do wholesale as well. Maybe if you've got a shop, maybe you want to sell Schweeet, good promoting sell Schweeet. We do wholesale prices for companies. So please get in touch with us. We have companies that are selling it already for us, which is great. We're always looking to expand that and bring more awareness, to sugar. So I've got around 25 minutes in the oven for the flapjacks. So I'm thinking of some ideas that we can do next with it. So I've done the milkshake. We'll do a hot chocolate. Actually, that's quite a straightforward one. So we'll do this with. You can do it with milk. Obviously, it tastes a lot better if you do use milk to make a hot chocolate. But for ease, I'm just going to use hot water for now. This is my first YouTube live video, so I apologise if it's not perfect. I will get there over time. So what can you make? There's a recent recipe that I've done. One of the best recipes that you can make with Schweeet is there's a mousse, actually, a chocolate mousse, which is fantastic. That might be a good one. I'll do that now. So to make the mousse, we need some mascarpone cheese. So we need some mascarpone cheese, and we need some double cream, and we need some Schweeet, which we've got plenty of. And to quickly wash up, please excuse unfortunately, I haven't got many spare bowls, so. Now, to make the mousse, to make a hot chocolate is really, really simple. I will do it in a minute. All you need literally is just some sugar-free organic cocoa powder. You get it it's normally in the baking section of a supermarket rather than the tea, coffee section. They tend to have sugar in them. So if you get the baking cocoa powder or cacao, or whatever you prefer, just put a teaspoon or two of this on top of a small amount of boiling water. It's better to put it on top of some water first because it mixes in a lot nicer, and then fill it up with more boiling water or milk, depending on how you want it. If you mix in the cocoa powder with some hot water, a couple of teaspoons of it, with some Schweeet, add it to taste. You can then put that into a big glass of milk, pour your milk into it, and you'll actually make a nice chocolate milk, which is quite straightforward as well. You can also use this in the milkshakes, just in the same principle as I did with the vanilla extract, and you end up with a chocolate milkshake. And any of the other natural flavors that you get in the supermarket will make pretty much any milkshake you like, mixed with milk and Schweeet, and that's it. There's no sugar. It's very, very simple. 3 ingredients, unless of course you freeze the ice cubes, and then it technically creates a fourth. So what I'm going to 250 grams of mascarpone cheese. I'm going to do this one first. Straight into a mixing bowl. Now for this one, I prefer to use a little bit of boiling milk for the hot chocolate part of it, because I'm going to make a chocolate mousse. So I prefer to use, rather than watering down the mousse. I won't be using much water or much milk for it anyway, but I think it's better to use just a little bit of milk for this. So Heat that up in a pan. It's always better to use hot water when you use the Coca-Cola because they are in a baking section, and it's better to use boiling water or boiling milk. Even if you then let it cool down before you put it into anything, it makes it less gritty. It can be gritty if you just put it into things. So I do that. So 4 in with the mascarpone cheese, 4 tablespoons of double cream, which I shall do once I've got the chocolate in there, and 15 drops of Schweeet. So I'm going to put the Schweeet in now. So that's half a dropper, and then a full dropper. This one is really, really good. It does require you to use a mixer. Otherwise, you might get pretty knackered whisking out with your hands. So again, you're gonna have to excuse the noise on this one, guys and gals. For those of you who have just joined us, my name is Daniel. I am doing some Schweeet recipes with a sugar alternative called Schweeet. It's a liquid sugar alternative. It comes in a bottle with 300 drops in it. 1 drop has the same taste as a teaspoon of sugar, and it's perfect for people with diabetes or anyone who wants to give up sugar itself for any reason, really. And it will not affect your blood glucose levels at all. There's no calories and no carbs in it, and we guarantee that there's no aftertaste. By guarantee, I mean that if you buy a bottle of this online and you're not happy with the taste, it doesn't taste like sugar when you add it to something, then we will offer you a full money back guarantee for the delivery cost and the bottle itself. So none of you lose out. It's worth a try for less than £3.99. It's an absolute bargain. So the milk is now boiling. Didn't take very long at all. So a little bit of boiling milk into the bottom of a cup. Then I'm going to add a heaped tablespoon of cocoa powder. Give it a stir, create a nice paste, thick paste. Probably going to add two tablespoons of this because it's nice and chocolatey. So as you can see in there, goes, kind of see it that there. It's not brilliant, but that's all right. Sorry about the quality if it's not too brilliant. Right, so now we've got like a nice thick loop. Stir it into, make sure it's smooth before you add it to anything. Doesn't take very long at all. Again, we've already added Schweeet to the mascarpone, so we don't need to add it to the chocolate. If you were making hot chocolate with this, you would obviously have more boiling milk, and then you would fill it to the top if you wanted to, or you could use boiling water, and then you would add your Schweeet to this itself, so your nice hot chocolate. You can add it to teas and coffees. You can add it to fruit teas as well. With fruit teas, it makes them sweeter. It also, if it's got a flavour in the tea, it will bring out that flavour more as well, which is quite nice. It works very well with red bush tea, which is quite nice. So I'm going to put that in with the mascarpone. And we're going to give this a good whisk. Apologies for the sound and for turning my back to the camera. I haven't got the best setup going at the moment, but so it's quite thick. I mean, some of you may want a really thick mousse. I'll just show you. I mean, already the colour of this is looking really nice. As you can see there, it looks really, really nice already. It's still quite thick, so that's why we add the double cream to this recipe. I'm just going to roughly estimate. I would, when you do this yourselves, 4 tablespoons or more. So play around with it if you want it slightly, if it's too dense, not fluffy, light and fluffy enough for you, then just put a bit more cream in. So I'm just going to pour half of this in here. Let's bring that back out. And the cream will help to fluff it up, make it really, really nice. This is a really easy, quick recipe to make. Literally is mascarpone cheese, double cream, Schweeet, and cocoa powder if you want the chocolate one. You can have other flavors as well. Sorry if I'm shouting. You can have other flavors as well. Adding fruit to this, you can do that if you wanted to. Now, I've got some. So, literally is nice and light and fluffy mousse. I mean, this does taste absolutely amazing. This is our latest recipe, and it does taste amazing. You would not be able to tell the difference between this and a shop bought mousse, other than this tastes better, in my opinion. And you know exactly what's gone in it. There's no nasties hidden in this, and these are perfect for dinner parties. If you're having a dinner party, you can leave them in the fridge, make them, in the morning, as you see there, perfect. And this makes probably four ramens, sort of medium-sized ramekins of mousse, and it really does taste amazing. So I'm going to keep filling these up because they're lovely, and I'm not wasting the food. Wash my whisk. So I'll keep giving a running commentary. I don't want anyone to get bored, and I don't even know if anybody is watching the live stream at the moment because this is my first one. I hope so. For those of you who have just joined us, this is Daniel cooking with Schweeet, and Schweeet is a 0-calorie, 0-carbohydrate sugar alternative aimed at people that have got diabetes or want to give up sugar. Schweeet will not affect your blood glucose levels at all, so it's perfect for people that have diabetes, or just want to give up sugar, or want to control their calorie intake. Some people want to control calories. That's perfect for that as well because it hasn't got any. It's perfect. It also hasn't got any aftertaste, which means that it will just taste like you're eating sugar. You haven't got like a nasty, bitter, aftertaste like you get with the other, with some of the other sweeteners on the supermarket. This hasn't got that. We guarantee that for you as well. So we give you your money back if you're not completely satisfied with the taste. So you have absolutely nothing to lose. It's a liquid, so it can be added to anything. It's really another good idea is to add it to fried veg, stir fried veg. So you put it into the oil, heat up the oil, and then cook some vegetables in it, and it makes it taste like you've roasted them in the oven. That's quite nice. Another thing, you can add it to, not promotion, but there are sugar-free baked beans that you can buy. They don't taste brilliant, in my opinion. I mean, you guys may like them, but if you put a drop or 2 drops of Schweeet into per tin of the sugar-free or no added sugar beans, then it makes it taste like you've added sugar to them without any of the negative effects or reverting back to using sugar. Pinch of salt, because and then basically you've got some very nice tasting beans without sugar. There's lots of things you can add Schweeet to. My favourite ones, some of my favourite ones I experimented with, and I shall do again on another live stream. Actually, I might be able to do that on this one. You can make a pizza-based topping with chopped tomatoes, garlic, a little bit of olive oil, and Schweeet. I tasted it before and after Schweeet, and the difference is incredible. When you add Schweeet to chopped tomatoes or tins of tomatoes, for some reason it just works really, really well with them. Makes them taste really nice. Really brings out, and even if you buy the cheap tins of tomatoes, it seems to just enhance the flavour of the tomato itself, which is great. It's perfect for if you want to do, like I just said, pizza-based toppings. So, to put these in the fridge. Excuse me. What I will actually do you can also use fresh tomatoes. So you put a load of these into a blender with some chopped up, well, you don't have to chop it up, just some cloves of garlic, peeled cloves of garlic, a little bit of olive oil, blend it up, and then heat it on the stove with some Schweeet in it and some salt in it. Couple of drops is normally enough. As I said, it's a teaspoon of sugar per drop, and it really makes it taste amazing. And then if you reduce it down on the oven, you can then turn it into a pizza topping, which is really very, very nice. So we've done that. So, for those of you who have just joined us, my name is Daniel, and I'm cooking with Schweeet. The website has got lots of video recipes on there. We're expanding a lot more now, so please, if you're interested in selling Schweeet for us, maybe you'd like to stock Schweeet, we can send you a sample first, and then we do a wholesale price on a case. A case contains 16 bottles of Schweeet. Each bottle has 300 drops. Each bottle retails at $3.99. We have wholesale prices for shops. Each of the bottles have a short and sweet recipe card on. It's a little bit gimmicky and quite fun. Yeah, there's 16 unique recipes on each bottle. They're good. They're really good for putting into carrying around with you as well. It's tight bottle glass. It's made of glass, and it's a pipette, so very good for keeping in your pocket or in your bag, or you know. So, let's have a look. One of the recipes on here. Creme fraiche. Oh, that's another one. That's another idea. Some of the ideas. I'm just going to refresh my memory. It's quite nerve-wracking being in front of a camera on live stream, as some of you may know. Porridge is one of our top uses for Schweeet. So it tastes better than honey. I know it's a bold statement, but it does taste better than honey. And despite what people think, honey isn't the greatest thing for you. It will affect someone who's got diabetes. Can't just eat honey without having to inject themselves with insulin. So that doesn't make it potentially a good thing for them. So this allows you to have a real nice sweetness in porridge without adding honey to it. And because it won't affect your blood sugar levels, and it tastes exactly like sugar without any aftertaste. So porridge is an awesome one to do. Some people like to do overnight oats with it as well. That's another good one. So you just soak your oats in milk with Schweeet overnight and cook your porridge with it, or however you like to do it. It's very, very good for protein shakes as well, if that's your thing. So I've been live for around 40 minutes. I don't think there's anyone watching, but I'm just going to show you the flapjacks. So it's only been 25 minutes, but as you can see they're starting to go golden. I'll give them another 5 minutes and then they're done. I'm going to probably call it quits for my first live session now. Thank you for joining us. Again, please like and share our Facebook page with your friends. Again, it's really important for people that have got diabetes. This is obviously I'm going to say it's the best sugar alternative there is for people with diabetes. What I am going to say is that it does taste identical to sugar. So if somebody who's been just diagnosed with type 2 and they have to reduce their caloric intake or stop eating sugar, but yet they really do like the taste of it, this tastes identical to sugar. So it's great for them. So if you know anyone who's got diabetes, then please let them know about Schweeet. It's very important. Um, uh, so if you'd like to order online, please go ahead. Please go to schweeet.com. So it's SCHW, 3 E's and a T.com. It's $3.99 for a bottle of Schweeet, and you get 300 drops. And we guarantee your money back if you're not happy with the taste. If you've got any aftertaste in anything that you put it in, we'll give you your money back. That's a guarantee. Thank you for joining us today. And I really do. My favourite's probably the milkshakes and the mousse. They really are fantastic. Your life.